Zoom, 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 zoom! World, you call the tune. Hi, folks. Welcome to Bo Zaboom World. Mabanabam Ubis Double. That means my name is Doyle, welcoming you to Zoom World, a fun-filled YouTube channel devoted to the classic PBS kids show Zoom and its reboot. Back again with another video. Today I'm going to be giving you the first of a installment of my latest Zoomer Spotlight. After having a voting poll, and what have you, you picked one, and I'm going to be spotlighting this Zoomer gal, and it's going to be, well, one of my favorites. Redhead gal, I think you know this. No, not Lisa. I mean, she didn't get any votes, but this one did. Well, I think it's a really funny gal. So anyway, I'm about to give you one of my favorites, as I've said. Now, listen, I do apologize. I will be wearing the Zoom shirt that I got last week, but only when I do short videos, show clips and what have you. So I do apologize, but I want. So I'm just going to continue to wear the white shirt when I do the spotlight. So this way, I don't get all hot and what have you, sweat so hard when I'm doing these. But I think you get the message, and that's the only reason why I'm going to keep one line on so it's not so bright when I show you the clips. So now, without further ado, I'm going to bring to you my second favorite reboot Zoomer gal, the one, the only, Kaleigh Cronin. Kaleigh Cronin, yes, the other redhead Zoomer gal, made her first appearance in the third season. She's going to be in the fourth season as well. Now, this video I'm going to do will be different than what I did with Caroline and Kenny. I'm going to be showing off clips from the first 30 episodes, 30 out of the 40 for season 3 in this video. So, and then I'll do the other 10 and her season 4 run, the next one. Anyway, she's absolutely amazing. She's very funny and she's very talented as well. Now, and you're going to see a lot of Kaleigh, but you'll see other Zoomers as well, but Kaleigh's the one I'm going to spotlight. So I hope you're ready, because, again, this is only going to be focusing on most of the episodes from Season 3, because I'm going to go 50-50 as she appeared in 60 episodes, well, plus the two 9/11 specials. So if you're ready, let's get this show on the road. Here's Kaleigh along with Buzz, also introduced in the third season, doing a Zoom phenomenon on keeping an actual little ball up in the air by using a hair dryer. Now here's a freeze frame. I'm finally learning how to use freeze frames now for the reboot. Here's Kaleigh along with Eric, also introduced in the third season, through a little joke skit, a little with a bit of a toy cow involved. Here's Kaleigh along with Rachel and Francis, the other two Zoomers who were introduced in the third season, and they're going to participate with Kaleigh in singing Around. Here's Rachel, who I'll spotlight later on. And then we go to Kaleigh and Francis. There's Kaleigh right there, and she's asking Kenny a certain question of what she's doing. And this is for a little silly game called Excuse Me, What Are You Doing? Which I think that's a really funny game. I like it. Here's Kaleigh introducing us to another Zoom game at the beginning of the third season 3 episode. And there's the whole gang there. Now, sometimes they start the episode off with maybe a Zoom game or a zinger. Well, I can point out that this little game involved a balloon where you really had to keep it up in the air. Really something. Well, let's move on, shall we? Now, here's Kaleigh and Eric. This is another freeze frame of another joke skit. But this time, Eric's at the door and Kaleigh's outside it. Here's Kaleigh again, and she's joined with Eric in a Zoom size segment where they're trying to make a balloon spin around with a straw attached at the end. Here's Kaleigh introducing us to another fun-filled Zoom game. And well, this one involves using oven mitts to unwrap a piece of gum. Which, actually, that of course was a game featured in an episode of Season 5 of the original Zoom. Here's Kaleigh along with Kenny. I did share some of this in my Kenny vid. Anyway, this is from a Zoom phenomenon where they're creating this special kind of slimy stuff. And I think I remember what it was called. I forgot what it was when I did the Kenny vid. I think it was called Slime. Here's Kaleigh along with Rachel and Caroline. They're participating in a little bit of a, I think it's a zinger, where you have to balance a number of books on your head. They start off with just one, but then they go on if they can, depending on how well they can do it. Here's Kaleigh about to read off a little short story, or maybe a poem that was sent in to Zoom. Here's Kaleigh behind them the door with a joke of a hamburger, and she's trying to give one the buzz. Here's Kaleigh right there, and she and Eric are doing a Zoom size segment on the patterns, well, little triangles and patterns on a quilt. Here's Kaleigh at the beginning of the Zoom Playhouse play known as Oranges. Kenny's right there being the first customer, and well, she doesn't know what she's trying to sell, and well, here comes Buzz as the storekeeper, trying to get her to understand what she's trying to sell and what have you. Yeah, this one's a classic. And here's Kaleigh and Kenny in a little funny joke segment with Kenny holding a big pencil prop. I got mixed up. A prop pencil. Well, you know what I think you get what I'm saying, okay? Next clip, please. Now here's Kaleigh introducing another Zoom game for us. And this involves sleeping bags. Which that looks really challenging. It's sort of like a relay. Because they sometimes do relays in the Zoom game segment, you know. Here's Kaleigh at the beginning of a Zoom Do segment. She along with Caroline are going to do a little bit of a little shadow puppets. You know, hand puppets, what you do in the when you use light and create a shadow and what have you. Yeah, that's a real fun experience. And here's Kaleigh chatting with everyone here in a Zoom chat segment. They chat just about anything in the Zoom chat. Here's Kaleigh in a Zoom Playhouse segment with Buzz. Here's Kaleigh and along with Buzz in a Zoom Do segment. Now Kaleigh's dressed up as Milk Carton, complete with milk mustache and all. Oh, I think the milk mustache was like painted on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Although the Kaleigh looks so cute. Here's Kaleigh along with Rachel in the beginning of a Zoom Phenom segment where they're showing off a plastic cup that has two holes in it. Really something. It's Kaleigh and Eric in another fun little joke skit. Here's Kaleigh introducing off another Zoom game. And let me tell you, I like these shirts they wear and what have you. I mean, yeah, and they have to do it like barefoot or something like that. Well, duh, you can see they're getting barefoot. Oops, silly me. Or dare I say, zoops. And of course, in that game, they have to drop a coin by keeping it between their big and second toe, big toe and second toe, and put it in the bucket. Here's Kaleigh at the beginning of episode 10. Well, where they're going to play a little game involving, well, bats and what have you. Of course, you can see that Kenny and Caroline are blindfolded. Here's a freeze frame of Kaleigh behind the door, and Kenny's right there asking her the little joke with wearing a witch's hand and a little broom. Here's Kaleigh and Eric right there, you saw, testing out a little science experiment with paper clip and paper towel from the looks of it, and they put them in a bowl of water. And here's Kaleigh reading off some Z-mail that was sent to Zoom. Well, you saw Kaleigh, but there's Kenny, Francis as well in this, and so is Kaleigh. They're in a funny little joke skin in the desert. Here's Kaleigh showing off a little more, but a little something with drawings as well in another Z-mail segment. Here's Kaleigh behind the door again. This time it's Caroline wearing a antenna like a bee, and or maybe or was it a butterfly? I don't know. They just love to wear stuff like that in these joke skits. Here's Kaleigh at the beginning of part 2 of the Red Binge, bouncing an imaginary basketball. Now, actually, since we see Kaleigh actually playing a little quick shot of a hoop before she joins the gang in the intro to the third season of Zoom, I actually seem to have read she did a pretty good job in playing basketball, I do believe. But I also know she played saxophone and what have you, which she did in her little bit when she was called on to come join the Zoomers in the beginning of in the intro of the 4th season. Let's move on, shall we? Here's Kaleigh in the beginning of a Zoom site segment where she, along with Caroline, are going to do a real fun challenge. Buzz is joining them. So, what they do in Zoom site is always a real cool thing. Now, don't mind me. This is a freeze frame, no pun intended, as we see Kaleigh and Francis competing against each other in a game where you have to like use their big and middle toes to put an ice cube in a little bowl. Here's Kaleigh in a little bit of a science challenge where you have to like use some salt and ice cube in a piece, a thread to, or no way, not a thread, or I mean a string or something like that to hold an ice cube together once you put salt on it. I remember seeing this in a Zoom phenomenon segment in the 3rd season of the original Zoom. Here's another freeze frame. This is Kaleigh along with Francis and Buzz being blindfolded while Eric, Rachel, and Caroline take off their sneakers for a fun little game. Here's Kaleigh in the beginning of a Zoom Do segment where she's creating tie-dye on cloths and what have you. Really something. Of course, that was also a Zoom Do segment in season 3 of the original Zoom as well. Here we see Kaleigh along with Buzz competing against Kenny and Rachel in the Zoom side segment. And they put a piece of paper flat in front of the top of a balloon and make it try and go real fast with a little straw attached to a side to it as it's on the string. Let me show you a little look on Kaleigh's face when this happens to one. There you go. Look at that. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, that was really funny. Look, yeah, the reaction on that Kaleigh's face was something. It just the one she and Buzz did just went a little while Kenny's and Rachel's made it through. How you like that? Here's Kaleigh in a Zoom Reviews book segment for this book right here. Sorry if I'm. Yeah, it's It's a pretty good one. Sorry if a tiny bit of myself got shown there. I was trying to see the books. Sorry about that, everyone. But I know it looked like a good one. I believe it was called. Let me reverse back. I'm sorry if this takes a little time. Wilma Unlimited. That's why it was. Never had encountered that book, but that looked like a pretty good one, though. Alright, let's keep moving. Here's Kaleigh introducing us to another Zoom game where you had to keep like it looks like a ball or a balloon behind two people's backs. You saw Kenny and Buzz. Yeah. Kaleigh and Francis in a computer joke skit. Here's Kaleigh, and she and Caroline are going to do a little fun challenge of math in a Zoom size segment. Here's a freeze frame of Kaleigh along with Kenny, and they're showing the current results for a Zoom size challenge for everyone. Well, a report for how long these streetlights stay on in their area. Here's Kaleigh going up against Caroline in a game of turkey chase. Which, of course, that was a game done in the second season of the original Zoom. Here's Kaleigh talking to everybody in a Zoom chat segment. Here's a shot of Kaleigh and Francis together as they do a little bit of a Zoom side report on pets. Here's Kaleigh in a cafe Zoom segment where she creates frozen pineapple pops, well, treats and what have you. Which, fun fact, for those of you who haven't seen the Zoom into action things that were done during the pandemic in 2020, Kaleigh actually did those in a Zoom into action segment on the GBH website. Which I mean their YouTube channel. And if you didn't know, she actually wears the same outfit she wears in the third season. Here's a shot from a doctor joke scene where Kaleigh's the doctor and Francis is the patient. Now, since I showed this in the second half of my Kenny spotlight, I'll show it again. Here's Kaleigh along with Kenny, heads out a paper airplane, and one really big one, showing how far they can fly. Cool, huh? Here's Kaleigh and Rachel in the first of Ubby Dubby Pizza orders. Now here's a freeze frame of Kaleigh along with Kenny and Eric, and they're about to make a Rube Goldberg machine, just like what some of the Zoomers did in the previous season. Here's Kaleigh giving a good laugh at Eric, wearing a little bit of a funny elephant mask in a joke skit. Well, you can tell by the back of the hair that is Kaleigh. She's going up against, yeah, there she is, going up against Eric in the Zoom game, where you send like a ball in a half of an empty milk jug. Here's Kaleigh in a Zoom Snack segment. The Zoom Snack, like the Zoom Reviews book segment, was introduced in the third season. And she's creating a little something you can make by cutting into the core of an apple, putting peanut butter and marshmallows in. Oh, I forgot. She puts chocolate chips in there too. Zoops! My mistake. I forgot that. Let's move on. Here's Kaleigh in the beginning of another episode. This was episode 24 in season 3. And this one's another fun game. Yeah, keeping a balloon afloat while trying to draw your team's net. You see Buzz doing that. Kind of reminds me of volleyball or something like that. Here's Kaleigh creating a very fun thing in a Zoom do segment where you could create, well, one of a few bubble blowers. Here's Kaylee and Caroline in another Zoom side report, continuing on how long, well, kids, street lights stay on. Excuse me, I'm getting a little tongue tied on his. Apologies. Here's Kaylee as the mama bear in the Goldilocks and the Three Bears Ubby Dubby play. Here's Kaylee going through some stuff that they've got fixed up. Well, they got out to use for their Rube Goldberg project. There's Kaylee, and she, along with Eric and Caroline, trying to run, rabbit, run by holding a pencil between their nose and their upper lip. Here's Kaylee in Cafe Zoom, ready to create a little experiment with in creating chocolate bowls to put fruit in. Here's Kaylee and Kenny in a silly little joke skit. Here's Kaylee reading off some Z-mail to some of the Zoomers. Here's Kaylee at the beginning of another episode. I believe it's number 28, where you have to go to a spot where you mention a certain food, don't like it, never try it, etc., etc. Here's Kaylee along with Caroline doing a Zoom phenom that involves, I believe, looks like a yo-yo from the looks of it, yes. Which I think looks, well, it kind of does look like one. I think it's a ball, kind of a little ball or something that they're hanging up to by a tape on the Zoom door. Yeah, it looks more like, yeah, it's a ball, not a yo-yo. Apologies. Here's a freeze frame where Kaylee's trying to solve a little popsicle stick puzzle Kenny created in a Zoom Do segment. Here's Kaylee and Rachel in a Zoom site challenge where they're combining a layer of cooking oil, water, and corn syrup together. Now here's Kaylee being the kitty in Poor Kitty after, well, she failed to, well, not laugh when Francis was being kitty. Now she's going up to Caroline. She just did a buzz, but there she got Caroline to laugh. Now that is really cute. I absolutely love that. Definitely. All right, let's finish up. Here's Kaylee in a Zoom Do statement where she creates her own memory book, where she shows lots of fun things with herself. Of course, her and some friends of hers, and her doing Annie on stage, really something. Of course, Kaylee still does little musical things on, like on Broadway or something like that to this day. Here's Kaylee as Ms. Ubby and Rachel as Ms. Dubby, and we see Caroline as the Ubby Dubby baby. I'm glad y'all liked those three skits. This is just so cute. I really love them. Here's Eric and Kaylee in a Zoom Phenom segment where they're trying to balance two pieces of paper with a little paper clip on it and trying to hold it, well, on I believe a stick or a straw or pencil, something like that. Well, there you go. If I missed anything, I apologize, but it'd be tough to get some little segments with Kaylee in it. But that's going to do it for this part. Now, I'll give you the remaining 10 episodes plus the 20, well, segments with her, well, little things with her in the fourth season in the next part, which I'll do possibly 1 week from tonight or maybe less than a week from tonight. But next time we're going to have another classic Zoom clip, and I'll be back in the Zoom shirt in the next video, okay? But stay tuned for the second half of this Zoomer Spotlight coming up late next week. So if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and if YouTube will let you, leave a comment below. And be a part of this great nation that is Zoom World. And again, we'll have a classic Zoom clip coming up for you next time, and then we'll do the second half of the Kaleigh Spotlight. So I do hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, consider checking out these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is all three Ubby Dubby Baby skits, which is again, it's already done so well. I'm glad you'll enjoy those. In the upper right hand corner, in case you might have missed them, or if you want to see them again, see the first half of my spotlight on Kenny Yates, or or go to the bottom left hand, or if you've already seen it, go to the bottom left hand corner and see the second part. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like this classic PBS Kids Show Day Zoom, the original or the reboot, then this is the place for you, Zoom World. So thanks for watching, and until next time, this is your friend Doyle saying, see ya.